Inspirational Nation, hello. Oh, Joe just talked over me, ruined it all. Welcome to the podcast. Lee Kemp here, Ryan Boniface, Jose Noya. We're at full strength. We're a bit all over the place, as you can tell. Jose has dialed in this for his phone, so he looks a bit weird on YouTube. Also, if you're watching on YouTube and I haven't edited it, you would have had about 30 seconds of silence there where I was talking, but I hadn't actually enabled the microphones. But luckily, I spotted it early enough. So here we are, technical difficulties aside. How are we both? It's been a while since it's been all three of us together.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, good, thank you.
Glad to hear it. Right, Jose, you and your technical difficulties. Oh, I just caveat, we are not live on TikTok this week because of Joe's technical difficulties. Normally we are. YouTube, TikTok are the places to be. Just search Jose Noya, Inspirational Nation in your Google machine and you'll find him. And Jose, man with a plan, what are we talking about this week?
Right, I haven't got a quote this week, but I do have.
I like the pause for dramatic effect there.
I do have a question.
Okay.
For both of you, and actually for the audience. So, this is the question: if you wait, will it get easier, or will you just be older? Do you want me to repeat it?
Go on, go a second time.
If you wait, will it get easier, or will you just be older?
Where does this quote come from, Jose?
Guess. Give you one guess.
Is it your favourite? Is it Mr. Atomic Habits?
It is, yeah. It's not a quote. It's a question, but it's from him. I really love
the question. Just to throw in there, I was on a road trip at the weekend, and we stopped off at a service station, and we went into WH Smith to mill about, mostly because we had 4 minutes to wait for KFC to open. And in their bestseller books, Atomic Habits was like number 3 in the best-selling books.
It's such a good book. I mean, I've had it for a good few years now, but it's such a good book. It really
Always
is.
There. So, yeah. I like. Obviously, this is a good, powerful call to action type of quote, isn't it? Because it's so procrastination, I think, is what that is trying to kill there. Because it is, and I think you're right. For the answer to the question, I'll say no. It'll just be older. Whatever you've got to do is still going to be there, and you can create fictionalized reasons in your head about having more time, having more money. I don't know the right people yet. All these various things, which actually, even if those things are true, I'm not saying there aren't barriers to make it happen, but what's your plan to overcome that? Because I don't think in any of the scenarios, just waiting is the answer. So if there is a hurdle, how do you work with that? How do you create more time? How do you reprioritize? What's your plan to get to the finances you need? How do you make that network, meet people you need to meet, whatever it is, whatever you're looking to do? I think it's really easy to put it off that it'll be better in the future, whereas actually, are they just barriers you're putting in place that aren't a real barrier, or what's your action plan to get there so that when the time is right, you've made positive steps to get there? How does that sound? Are we on the right track?
I love that. I love what you said there, because you're right. It is. I don't think it's ever going to be easier. And definitely, there's definitely a bit of Procrastination Nation in there, isn't there? Like you said, I really like that observation. The other thing that you did say is the right time. I don't think it's ever the right time. I just think you've got to just execute. I think you just got to go. Because if you sometimes wait for the right time, it never comes the right time because you're procrastinating. Oh, is it the right time? Well, it never is, right? It's really interesting, this quote, because when I think of my age, and I don't know what you guys think this, but I'm too young for that. And I've heard this before. Oh, now I'm too old for that. When are you ever the right age?
Yeah, there's no Goldilocks moment, is there?
That I've heard that. Oh, I'm just too young. I haven't got, oh, I'm too up. Like, come on. Like, you're never the right age because you've got that procrastination or you've got a perception around it. But that's mine. And I think it's absolutely true. What this says to me, from my perspective, is just don't wait. Just execute. Do something. Do anything. Just do something. You'll get a result. Well, based on that, you could do something with that. So I think it's really powerful. Just don't wait, because you will be older. And as I said before, and we all know that time is finite. We haven't got all the time. It runs out. That's the only thing you cannot get back, your time. So this question tells us, just start, get on it, set yourself a time, set yourself a date, set yourself a time to start. And do it in the smallest way as well. James Clear, who's done this question, is really cool, because he always says about just make it as easy as possible to do everything just to get started. Just get started. Like, do 1 rep, whatever. I know we talked about this before, but make it super easy so you can execute on it, and then who knows, right? Where it goes to lead. And I think that's always the first step. The journey starts with the first step and all that lovely inspirational stuff that we talk about. But yeah, Ryan, over to you. Over to you, Ryan.
Can I hear the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, here we go. This is the question: is if you wait, will it get easier, or will you just be older?
I think I agree a lot with what Lee said, but I do think there can be scenarios where both can apply in a way that, or in some scenarios, I think both can apply. Because I think it in a way that sometimes you do need to be older to be able to appreciate scenarios and situations in a better way, to be able to get to be better in different scenarios. Sometimes you have to have gone through things in life. You have to have life experience to understand other scenarios from different perspectives. I think a lot of empathy comes from having lived a lot of life. And I think what comes with that is sometimes people aren't mature enough when they try to approach something, and they need to have gone through some more life experiences first, or gain some life experience to be able to be the best version that they need to be. I think as a example, it's difficult to be able to. People don't empathize well with a young doctor. They don't think because doctors aren't older or wiser, perhaps, that they aren't able to diagnose or treat patients or anything like that. I've seen loads of people I went to school with, or people that I was friends with when I was younger, have gone to university. I won't say loads, some of them have, and trained to be in the medical field and things like that. And they definitely have said in the past that some patients find it difficult to engage with them or trust them, because they can't believe that they know what they're talking about at the age that they present to be. And I think that can sometimes help when you have some of that life experience, where you've aged a bit, or you look a bit older, or you look more put together, or whatever the scenario needs, that then you have a better success chance of engaging with people and kind of being the best person that you can everywhere, if that makes sense. I've got a really long-winded way around that.
Yeah. I see what you mean, though, because we got like those unconscious biases as well, haven't you, on there? It's like, oh, if they look a bit older, it looks like I got it together, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and I truly met people.
Sorry.
Go on, Lee. No, you go. Go on.
You sure? I don't want to cut. Sorry, I cut in.
No, you go.
Just not so, because there is some worth in what you're saying with that, Ryan. But I think there's a background working, and also the doctor example, because you get, I never watched it, but there was an American show of a young doctor. Was it Doogie Howser, or was that the character in the show? And I've seen shows where people refer to young doctors as being Doogie Howsers in a disrespectful way. At the same point, that young doctor is still a young doctor. They haven't said, I'm going to wait until I'm 35 to start becoming a doctor. They're doing the groundwork. They're kind of pushing through those barriers to get themselves there. I want to give an example here, and this is an extreme end, because obviously not everyone's Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, or you're going to make millions and millions and millions. And I don't think that's what we're about, everyday inspiration. But in that world, have you heard of I'll say young man, to you, Ryan, an old man, to me and Jose, a young man named Ben Francis?
Oh, no, I haven't. I don't know, rings a bell. I don't think
I say this because he's currently 35, which is where he fits in those age bracket bits. So he is the founder and CEO of Gymshark. Have you heard of Gymshark?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. My daughter's bought some of this stuff. Yeah.
We've got Gymshark stuff everywhere in the house from the kids. So he was 19 when he started his Gymshark brand. Now, it wasn't an overnight success. He built it up slowly, incrementally in the background. Started it in 2012 when he was 19. Got a good bit of sales. And when we're talking a bit of sales, we're talking 30 grand in 2013 from where something went viral on Facebook. And at that point, he kind of went full in. And it took a long time to build up the business over the years, step by step, which is, I guess, part of what we're saying here, is he wasn't an overnight success, but he did start. He had no idea about anything in fashion, and he taught himself to sew, and started making the garments himself after teaching himself to sew, and
That's
built and
amazing.
built and built and built. It wasn't until, and I'm reading the go here, that he really took off in 2020, sold and started to then get investors, scale, etc., etc., etc. But at 19 years old, he started those first steps without knowing what he was doing, without knowing where it would go. So then that's an extreme example. I'm not saying what we're going to do is give advice to everyone to become millionaires. I think anyone who peddles advice telling people they're going to become millionaires is a snake oil salesman, and is just that's how you become a millionaire, by telling other people how to become a millionaire rather than anything substantive. But I don't think just not being the right age, even if you're going to get, and you're right, all those pushbacks will happen, but use that, gain your skills, build your armor in networking, presentation, soft skills, like he did with sewing. I think there's never a bad time to start your journey. You see it as well with people, having kids. Now, don't get me wrong, you might genuinely not be in a place in your life where you don't want to have a kid yet for whatever reason, but it's all, I'm not quite old enough, we're not quite, there's never a right time. There's the right time for you. So I'm not saying everyone should just have kids young, but it's not external factors, it's your choice as to whether that's right or wrong, because there is no perfect moment. There's no perfect moment for anything. Then it might not be the right time for you, but lean into that and be honest about that. Make a conscious choice, don't make it someone else's choice. There you go. I didn't even know that's what I was going to say till I started talking.
No, I really like that inspiring story. I love stories like that where it's almost like the garage, and is it the garage and where Apple started, and then you got, I think Jeff Bezos started with like literally an old door, and I think he was working in the office with an old door or something. Crazy stories, but it just shows you, doesn't it? And that you just got to start. I think that's the key. And have you heard that saying about build the plane as you go? I've heard this a lot. It's like where entrepreneurs talk about, building the plane as as you're flying, like you're trying to build it as you go. And I love that analogy, because a lot of these people just didn't know where it's going to end. They just thought, I'm just going to build something. I'm just going to start.
Yeah, they just started.
And I think that's so powerful. Yeah, go on. You can say, yeah.
No, I'm just agreeing vehemently with you there.
I just think that's such a powerful concept. I really love that. Build the plane. We're going to build the plane as we go. It's like that uncertainty. We're going to try. We're going to go flying. We're going to build it, and let's go. I never used to be like this at all. I used to be very, very against that. But I think it's, just get a bit of wheel, stick it on the plane. Right, we've got a wheel. Like this guy just started sewing. I really, really love that story, Lee. I think it's excellent, isn't it? And he didn't have any presentation skills, I expect. He just taught himself to sew. Fantastic. And then look now, it's just, you just don't know where it's going to lead. That's the whole thing, I think, because you don't know where he's going to. I think that's the exciting part of it. You just don't know. I think that's why it's cool. It's like when I play tennis, I go and play tennis. I don't know whether I'm going to win or lose. That's why sport's exciting, because you don't actually know what's going to happen, but you've got to throw yourself in it and then just see what happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really love that. I just really inspired by that story. And I have heard of him. I just couldn't. Now you said Gymshark. I'm sure I've seen an interview with him somewhere. I think Simon Scribb actually interviewed him. I think he turned up on his podcast. Yeah, brilliant. I love that story. Honestly, it's fantastic. And that just goes, if you waited, probably Gymshark would never have happened. But was it the perfect time? Maybe. You have to have a bit of luck along the way. And as I say, Simon Scribb talks about that. He says, luck's a skill. You do it by doing things, by creating your own luck a little bit. You're taking those steps, taking action, and then you might get lucky because you're out there doing it. If you're not doing it, no one can see it. So you've got no chance, but you're trying something, then you've got a chance. And I think that's really powerful. It's really cool. So, yeah, I really like that. By the way, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, that was brilliant. I really do like that story. I can just imagine this guy sitting there with the same. I could just start sewing some shorts. Like, all right, I'm going to put this little logo. I don't know. What's the logo like? I don't know what it's like, but is it? I can't remember. I know my daughter bought some. I can't remember the logo. But that must be so cool to think. I just started this in the time machine. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to stop now. So I really like that. It's brilliant. I like it. I really loved it. That's really cool. So what's the question then for the audience, do we think?
What's the question for the audience?
For the audience, yeah. What questions you got for the audience that they could think about and get them to start, right? Because I think
Is there, not everyone will have this, but what is it? What are you not doing that you could be doing? What are the steps you could take towards, like, you talk about the vote for the person you want to be. What are those steps? Where do you want to be, and what is the smallest little step you can take towards that goal? Even if everything's not in place yet, how can you start making it happen? That's the question.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like
my question,
yeah, I like that, because you're saying, I would get my step. Oh, nice, but your step thing going on, your exercising, and Ryan, your step stuff. You were doing some sort of walking thing when you, Ryan, I think. But yeah, do you want to put a vote in that box? I think this is the vote, isn't it? It's that, going back to that vote. I love that. What identity do you want? Yeah, I love that. So what you going to start? And I think not even how much stuff you're going to do. What one thing are you going to do? Just one thing.
Just start with a little bit.
Just one.
Momentum builds over time.
Yeah, love that. So what's the one thing? I love that. And what's the smallest thing? Make it really achievable that you could just do it tomorrow. Like, it might be make a phone call. I don't know. It could be just making a post on social. I don't know what it'll be. But I love it. Actually, can I ask you a question then, you two? Can I ask how your exercises are going?
Good. I had a bit of a gap we took before, so I'm now 2 or 3 times a week, steady pace, working towards where I want to be. But I'm finding it easier as I go, and it's becoming a bit more bedded in my routine. So it's happening. It's still very much I need to do that, rather than it just is part of my non-thinking routine. But it's getting there.
So that goes back.
I feel positive about it at the moment, I would say.
I like that though. If you, this is quite good, going back to the question, right? If you wait, will it get easier, or will you just be older? So at the minute, it sounds like it's getting easier right now, because you're 3 times a week, right? Isn't that weird?
And without question, if I leave it, I will just be older.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Right, what about you? How's it going?
I actually haven't unboxed the walking pad. However, I have been getting out and about more, going for walks outside and stuff. I haven't been enjoying it because it's been cold. I don't like it when it's cold.
The fact you're doing it when you don't enjoy it is even better.
Yeah. But I'm finding that I live at the top of 3 flights, or like I live on the 3rd floor, and I don't have a lift in my building. So I am currently, well, I've got quite used now to climbing like 55 stairs or whatever it is to get there, doing that 2 or 3 times a day. So I'm seeing some benefit in kind of doing things like that. And the walking pad is coming. That's the next part of what I need to do at home. Although I keep saying that, so that makes it sound like it isn't coming, but it will.
Well, we can check in next week.
It will.
So, Ryan, can I ask you the question? Is it getting easier?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. There you go. This is real life stuff, isn't it? This is actually reality. You start, it does get easier, doesn't it? It does get easier, which is starting is the hard part. But I love the fact, like Lee said, that you're going outside, and that's actually quite hard, because I don't feel like going outside, and you've got to walk down the stairs and back up.
I'd find the walking pad easier than I would the going outside. So you're doing the harder thing.
The stair, this going down the stairs is fine. It's obviously coming back up. That's the.
Do you get that thing where you like?
Challenge.
I noticed at my work they've got like 5 stories, and by the time I get to, I'm going, oh my God, I'm sure the air is thinner up here. I'm telling you, I'm literally going. I thought I'd get used to it, but when you get to this 4th floor, thinking, gee, this is still quite tiring.
There are some times where you kind of sit there to yourself and think, Jesus, that was a climb.
It's so weird, isn't it? I have to make that clear. Like, is the air getting thinner, or is it just me? Like,
And then other days, it's the easiest thing ever. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? That is weird, but I love that. So we've left a good question for the audience then. But yeah, what's the time on the old podcast? Where are we?
We have got a couple of minutes left, so we're near to the end. So
wrap it up then.
Final thoughts we want to hit off. Jose, you go first. Your one. What is your takeaway?
I think you've answered it really, Lee. I think you posed the question around what we're going to start. What step you're going to take, and I think that's, for me, the question is, what step you're going to take. What is it that you want to do? Well, what's the smallest step? Like Lee's done it. Ryan, you're doing it with your outside walk. These small steps matter. That's my big takeaway and my question for the audience. What about you two?
Just friggin' start. That's my advice.
Tell it, Gary Vaynerchuk there.
One for me to follow as well, but that is it. Absolutely. And Ryan Boniface.
It does get easier. I think is what I would say.
Do you know what? I love that.
That is a good reassurance piece.
Yeah. Do you know what though? I loved what I said. You went, it will get easier, and you had a big sigh at the end. I love that. It was brilliant.
Telling yourself as much as everyone else, yeah.
I loved it.
Pretty much.
It was so good. Yeah. Love that.
That's great stuff. Enjoyed this. This was a good subject. We have threw Jose under the bus, and even though it should have been me or Ryan, we made him pull a subject out while he's on his broken phone, but he came through. That was good stuff. If everyone out there, if you like what we're doing, hit subscribe, hit like, share this, tell friends and family. All those things to pull in more listeners and help the algorithms are what help us. We see those, especially I think in Apple, we got quite a few reviews there, so we appreciate everyone who's left those reviews. Keep doing it. We will of course be back next week, and if Jose's got his computer sorted, mouse is back in there running or whatever it does, we will be live on TikTok. We're on YouTube as well. Again, Jose Noya, Inspiration Nation. Just stick it in your Google machine. Of course, head over to inspirationnation.org.uk. All our back archive, getting on for 7 years worth there now, and the hoodie that Jose is proudly sporting, you'll be able to buy that as well. All that's left me to do is count us down. I'll say 3, 2, 1. Inspiration Nation.
Inspiration Nation.
Catch you guys later.
Catch you guys later.
Cheers, boys. That was good.
We're clear.